has faced Liverpool 11 times in his managerial career, but his only win came in the first of those meetings when Sevilla won 3-1 in the 2016 Europa League final in Basel. Arne Slot has slipped into Jurgen Klopp's seat like an otter into a water slide. It's not been perfect, but it's been pretty close. Stuart Pearce is alongside us, England legend, former Nottingham Forest captain. What are we expecting here as Aston Villa come to town?
Well, I'm expecting a decent counter-attack from Villa if they want to get something out the game. How much confidence is oozing through the Villa lineup, I'm not sure, but I'm expecting a Liverpool victory tonight, and that will be a sizable difference in the title race if they do win.
Yep, they can go 5 points clear tonight, Liverpool. TalkSport is the place to be this Saturday night. The chilly air, biting cold at the top of the gantry. We're high up in the main stand, overlooking this beautiful, immaculate green playing surface. Liverpool attacking the Kop in the first half. They've been turned round by Aston Villa, all in red. And Aston Villa in bright white, brilliant white tonight, shooting from right to left. I'll run through the two teams in just a second, but they start trying to get the ball out of their own penalty area by shuffling it out towards the right hand side. Doesn't reach Bailey and is cleared up towards the halfway line. It's almost a 4-4-2 tonight from Aston Villa, with Morgan Rogers joining Ollie Watkins in attack. Van Dijk has it on the halfway line, slips it square. Konate picks it up now for Liverpool, with Queven Kelleher in goal, a back four of Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. McAllister and Gravenberch in midfield, with Jones just behind the leading front man of Darwin Nunez, who's just been wrestled to the floor by Diego Carlos. The two flankers, Salah and Diaz, nothing given by the referee, who tonight is David Coote, and it's his first refereeing assignment actually since being convinced to give a penalty for West Ham in the dying moments of their game with Manchester United by the VAR Michael Oliver a few weeks ago. Aston Villa with Martinez in goal, Konza, Torres, Carlos and Digne the back four, Tielemans and Onana, Ramsey just behind them. Bailey will probably peel out to the right hand side, with Rogers just playing in the number 10 position. And we will follow it here on TalkSport as Ramsey chases Alexander-Arnold back to the 18-yard box, and then he shifts it on just left of the 18-yard area towards Konate, who's long ball straight down the middle, direct ball looking for Darwin Nunez, who's just a little bit heavy, runs off the greasy turf and into the arms of the light blue-clad Emi Martinez, who for the second successive year has won the Lev Yashin Trophy as the best goalkeeper in the world. That was an award actually that Stuart Pearce qualified for when he was playing Sunday football many years ago in the West London League.
Well, I didn't win the Lev Yashin Trophy, but I did win top goal scorer in our team that year.
From the goalkeeper position, of course. Salah is mugged by Jacob Ramsey on the near side. He thought it was a bit too physical, didn't want it a free kick. Then Ollie Watkins gets a little nudge from Jones and gets a free kick. David Coote turns round to his assistant over on the far side and gives the thumbs up. Robertson was just dragging back Bailey over on the far touchline. I think that was why he gave the assistant the thumbs up. His attention was drawn to that by the official over on the far side. There was a bit of a tussle going on between Ramsey and Diego Carlos, where they were just having a little tussle with Salah, but nothing came of it. Ball sent down the right side by Villa. Robertson, whose position hasn't been secure in the left side of the defence, nudges it out of play, and it goes out for a throw-in to Aston Villa, level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, attacking the goal to our left.
You made a really good point there about Robertson's place not being secure. Early season, Slot was making a lot of substitutions sort of mid-second half, wasn't he, and changing left backs, and I think it was his way of trying not to disrupt it too much, but to have a good look at the players in their varying positions.
Tsimikas played on the left-hand side of the defence on Tuesday night. Arne Slot has taken his seat in the dugout down in front of us. It's quite a way down in front of us actually. We're right at the top of the altitude here at the Anfield Stadium. The top of the altitude that you need without the oxygen tanks, I think. It's quite high. Ball is loose in midfield, where it's collected by Tielemans, who shuffles it back to Pau Torres, who made a mistake actually in the game against Tottenham the other week. Gave a really slack pass away, which Tottenham capitalised on. He sends it to Ezri Konsa, then Rodgers, who's in the under-21 squad. Not that Unai Emery's happy about that. Pokes the ball forward. He gets dispossessed by Gravenberch, and then it's picked up by Dynamite Diaz, who goes off down the left-hand side. He is tracked and watched by Onana, who used to play just across Stanley Park at Everton. He gives the ball in field. Rodgers is dispossessed by Van Dijk, and Liverpool have got it back again. Liverpool have won the last 3, Villa have lost the last 3. It's a run that Liverpool want to continue. It's a run that Villa don't. Liverpool on the attack. Alexander-Arnold out to Salah, edge of the penalty area, cuts inside, left-footed, tries to drag the shot through the legs of Digne. It was cleared by Pau Torres and comes out to the near touchline. Back with Trent Alexander-Arnold, down by the corner flag, travels backwards, looks to try and thread it into what was a rather dynamic Mo Salah, but it was such a tight gap, it was difficult to thread the ball through the eye of a needle. And then Ibrahima Konate chases Ramsey out the touchline on halfway and just uses brute force just to push him out and get Liverpool back on the ball. Jones being harassed by Rodgers and Ramsey wins a free kick on the halfway. And Liverpool again have just sort of displayed, I think, in the early exchanges here, Stuart Pearce, that sort of level of control that might not necessarily have been apparent last year, when sometimes they embraced the chaos, and the years before. Klopp did a brilliant job with this team, we know that. But there is just that more patient build-up to the way that they operate this time around.
Yeah, there is, but it's not chalk and cheese. I don't turn up to Liverpool, Sam, and think, well, it's a totally different style. When they turn the ball over right in front of us not so long ago, you could see Salah's on his way. They'll play it in behind if it's on. There's no doubt about that. But you're right in what you're saying. Potentially slow when it's not on, but when it is on, it goes. And that's why I like watching Liverpool.
Yeah, there's a bit more patience about them. And Gravenberch, who just received it at the base of that midfield, has just been knocked to the floor. The free kick quickly taken by Van Dijk, who plays it square into Alexander-Arnold, who travels into the Villa half, out to the wide right, and now Mo Salah. Liverpool have made the smooth transition from Klopp to slot. The Dutchman has made the best permanent start by a Liverpool manager ever. Here on the far side, Diaz with a little juggle, then he tries to centre it away by Diego Carlos, picked up by Leon Bailey, and then he tries to get Aston Villa out, but Liverpool relentless pressing machine, and they've turned it over again, and they just almost, with Gravenberch, tried to thread it down the left channel, and he was too far away from finding Darwin Núñez.
We're 7 minutes into the game, and straight away to the eye you can see Liverpool playing with supreme confidence, comfortable in possession, knocking it around, looking for that cutting edge, cutting pass. And Villa, they're looking to slow it down a little bit. I think if I was Villa, I would probably try and up the tempo slightly, but keep turning Liverpool round and keep getting runners in behind in these channels.
4-0 victory over Bayer Leverkusen in midweek, made it 4 wins out of 4 in the Champions League, 14 wins in 16 matches in all competitions, just 1 defeat, just 1 draw. They have the ball in the near touchline. They'll be buoyed by that news from the Amex Stadium, where Manchester City were beaten earlier by 2-1, given away cheaply by Tielemans, who is struggling with a little bit of an injury actually. Jones has it on the edge of the box, threads it down the right side. McAllister trying to get hold of it. Digne comes across, sweeps it out, and puts it away into the corner flag for the first corner of the game.
Yeah, as I say, they're probing at the moment, Liverpool, and looking for that final pass. I'll tell you what, to have someone like Salah in your team, they'll really miss him when he's not here anymore, you know. He's a brilliant outlet.
Yeah, might still be around for a little while yet. They are talking about a new contract. He's not the oldest, he's 32 years of age, but he keeps himself in great nick. Here is the corner on this near side. There's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. David Coote trying to sort that out. Leon Bailey feels as if he's just got a whack as the cross comes in from Robertson. It's a near post flick. It's headed away by Onana, and the free kick is given in Aston Villa's favour because there was a bit of brutish behaviour inside the box, and David Coote was quick to react to it. There have been 15 goals in the last 4 meetings between these two. Let's hope for more tonight.
Well, I can't see it finishing 0-0, Sam. I've got to tell you now.
Certainly there has already been a 0-0 today, and I know you were keenly interested in the outcome of that particular game. Brentford beat Bournemouth by 3-2. They continue to be the great entertainers in the league, Brentford, don't they? Crystal Palace beaten at home by Fulham, who have been incredibly impressive this season. I saw them Monday night, and I was really impressed with what Marco Silva has done there. West Ham 0, Everton 0. I don't think impressed too many today. Wolves beat Southampton 2-0. Delighted for Gary O'Neill, who needed a victory. I'm sure Russell Martin really frustrated tonight because they had a goal chalked off at 1-1, and that Brighton result, which probably trumps all others in terms of headline making. The first time that Manchester City have lost 4 in a row under Pep Guardiola. First time that's happened in a very long time. 0-0 here. We played 9.5 minutes on TalkSport. Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce live at Anfield, high up in the gods, watching Liverpool try to knit together a period of possession and get up the field, but the mistake by Gravenberch has allowed Bailey to chase the ball down the right side. He's fed Morgan Rogers. It's out to the left where Watkins has peeled away, back into Ramsey, back to Watkins again, right on the corner of the left side of the area, right-footed shot towards the far corner. He caught it well but couldn't keep it down, and it fizzes over the top and into the Anfield Road end, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, as I say, Watkins cut in from the left-hand side, just opened the goal up a little bit. It was a fair distance, but as I say, looked as though he was just stretching for it instead of getting on top of the ball with curl.
He's gone through a little bit of a barren spell, actually, Ollie Watkins. Because during this sort of tougher run, the goals have kind of dried up for him. Not scored in his last 4 appearances. Scored just 1 in the last 9 for club and country, but he has a great record against Liverpool. 5 in 8 against them. Maybe tonight he'll find his spark again. Here is Ramsey down the near touchline, chasing, putting Alexander-Arnold on the back foot, then opening up the space, and what a challenge that was. Gravenberch came from nowhere and rescued the situation just as Ramsey was about to pull the trigger.
Tell you what, Ramsey's done brilliantly there opening the goal, and I wonder whether he just delayed that extra second. What do you think?
Yeah, he just gave himself a little bit too much time. Thought he had too much time, and then Gravenberch just appeared from the blind side. Yeah,
it was a wonderful challenge, I've got to say. The goal opened up brilliantly for him. He took 2 Liverpool defenders out with his shimmy.
It's brilliant when you see the replay of that. He's sort of almost on his own, takes on Alexander-Arnold, comes inside, sells him the wrong way, and then as he goes to pull the trigger, from outside of the picture frame, in comes Ryan Gravenberch and just stops everything from going forward for Jacob Ramsey. Excellent defending by him, and he really has played a part in this new Liverpool, adjusting to a new position. Liverpool 0, Aston Villa 0. Liverpool have lost the ball in midfield, but Curtis Jones has helped them win it back. He's in the full England squad again. Curtis Jones recently became a father, in fact left the last international camp to go and attend the birth of his first child. And Arne Slot was talking this week about him maybe benefiting from that. He said he was a little bit calmer now than maybe he'd been in the past. He's certainly been a real asset for Liverpool this campaign. He's got a terrific winner against Chelsea. He was the man of the match by a country mile in that game. Here is McAllister, just left of the centre circle. Gravenberch, McAllister, quick ball, but not to anyone in red. It's away by Diego Carlos, but he can't find a white shirt, and Liverpool have it once more, just 10 yards short of the halfway line, in open territory in their own half of the field. McAllister out wide to Luis Diaz, who's got a hat-trick playing through the middle in midweek. Across to Konate, and then on to Alexander-Arnold, and then it's helped further wide. Now Mo Salah has it, clipping the ball down the right channel, chasing after it was Diaz. It was headed away by Pau Torres into Nunez, and Nunez just sort of hit his shin and went behind and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
I'll tell you what Salah does brilliantly. We're right behind him here. He's received the ball in wide areas. He's chipped one. It's almost at a direct 45-degree angle ball into the box for a centre forward. Once with the outside of his foot, which was brilliant. The second one, probably not inch perfect, but as a defender, you've got to deal with that.
Playing out from the back, Aston Villa towards the left side. Pau Torres to Digne. Digne on to Jacob Ramsey, does brilliantly to get away from Gravenberch first, and then Jones, and then he changes the side of the attack, and coming forward down that right hand side as Konsa bounced towards the edge of the box. He's travelled a really long way. He should have released it, didn't, and then had his pocket picked by Robertson, and now it's 4-on-5, and Liverpool coming forward with red shirts now joining to make it 5-on-5, and Darwin Núñez is moving infield, cracks a shot right edge of the penalty area and cannons off the defender, and it will go all the way back. And now a chance maybe for Bailey to run down that right touchline and get Aston Villa up the pitch again.
Yeah, he's one, Bailey, that when he first come to this country, I think he had a real slow start to his career, but certainly improved back end of last season for sure.
Well, he's so quick that he looks like an Aston Martin rather than an Aston Villa.
If I didn't know better, I'd teed you up there, hadn't I?
You hadn't actually, had you? Here's Ramsey into Onana, up to Morgan Rogers. And it's a lovely reverse pass into Ramsey, who holds off Trent Alexander-Arnold, gets to the edge of the penalty area. Van Dijk comes out to meet him, and he gives it back to Tielemans just about. Van Dijk goes and tries to take care of the Belgian. He's beaten by him. A chance to cross, a low one into the area, flicked away by Konate, and out to the near touchline. But Liverpool looks a little bit ragged there, and they've lost the ball here. And it's back with Tielemans, another cross into the box. Header over the top of the crossbar by Leon Bailey, who gets up just in front of Robertson, and it's over the top of the crossbar and into the Anfield Road end.
Yeah, I think if you want a blueprint for beating the top teams, certainly the teams on home field that dominate the ball, as soon as you turn it over, you've got to run at breakneck speed and play it forward at breakneck speed, but controlled to get in behind them. I think Villa just delayed slightly there, enabled Liverpool to get back goal side.
Good touch away by Luca Digne. So cold up here tonight that both you and I are wearing gloves. I wonder what Sam Ellard is wearing in Barbados. What's the latest, Sam?
No gloves, I promise you that, Sam. England off to a really good start in the first T20 against the West Indies. Bowling first, West Indies 18 for 2. Both openers out, King for 3 and now Lewis for 13. Sakeem Mahmood has both wickets. Into the fourth over. Good start for England. West Indies 18 for 2.
That's the gig, isn't it, eh? Sitting there in your Bermuda shorts watching cricket in Barbados.
Beautiful.
Lovely. We wouldn't rather be anywhere else than here.
No chance.
Absolutely.
They're hardly perennials, my friend.
Absolutely. Here is Robertson down the left-hand side, trying to get on the outside of Konsa, who comes across, meets him. He thrusts the ball at the Scotsman's chest. It bounced behind and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. Aston Villa's losing run came after an 11-match unbeaten sequence that only ended with defeat by Crystal Palace in the League Cup. That wasn't that long ago. It was only 10 days ago that they started this run. It's a bit like Manchester City, really. It all went wrong on the same night. They rested and rotated a few first-teamers for that fixture, but then they were all back for the Spurs game, who actually just got away from them in the second half. I think they were the better team over the course of the 90, definitely Spurs, but it hasn't been like it's 3 or 4 weeks of bad performances for Aston Villa. It's been 10 days.
It's amazing what the Carabao Cup, League Cup does. You know, if you rotate, all of a sudden things are ticking along well. You rotate slightly, you get a bad result, and all of a sudden a couple come on the back of that.
Happened to Manchester City as well.
Indeed.
Here is Alexander-Arnold down the right, looking for the movement of Jones. Jones just about kept it in, but couldn't find a red shirt as he slid across the floor and hooked the ball back from the byline. Jacob Rams is in the left full-back position for Villa, trying to escape here, can't do so. Pinned in by Alexander-Arnold and pushes it out and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, good press by Liverpool there. Pressed Villa right back into one of their own corner flags, but once they got someone in there facing the own corner flag, Trent's got to make sure that he doesn't get a touch on the ball and just leaves the player on the ball if he has to.
Only Tottenham and Arsenal have beaten Aston Villa in the Premier League this season. Diego Carlos floating the ball forward, looking for Watkins, but Alexander-Arnold was alert to the danger, and then he's nudged the ball forward into Salah, who's surrounded by 2 centre-halves and a midfielder. They get out of that, Aston Villa, and can bring the ball forward quickly here. They've got space on the left for Ollie Watkins. It's taken a bit of time for the ball to be laid off by Ramsey. He's got Luca Digne joining on the left as well, Ollie Watkins. The tempo's just not fast enough. They had numbers over there. The ball comes out to Digne. His cross into the box steered away by Van Dijk, and he might get a second bite at the cherry. Picks it up left side of the area, sends it square. Tielemans opens up his body. He's being trapped by Salah. Tries to play a reverse ball. It's half cleared by Konate. Wasn't the best clearance, and it goes out for a corner in front of the Villa fans away to our left. Did they miss an opportunity there?
Yeah, and the main protagonist in that was Ollie Watkins. He's picked the ball up. He's got got one-on-one with Konate. For me, I think he's got a drive at Konate and said, right, what are you going to do now? I'm going to come and take you on. I'm the centre forward, I've got good pace, and wait for a teammate to come up alongside you as well.
Still 0-0. You're listening to Talk Sport on this Saturday evening with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the best and biggest Premier League games available now, no contract, on now, like Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea and Newcastle and Chelsea versus Arsenal live tomorrow. Search now Sports.
I can see a counter-attack. I'm just going to give you a shout.
Here come Liverpool.
Here we go.
Over the top of the halfway line after they don't deal with the corner very well. Leon Bailey brings down Salah. Full force to Nunez. He goes round the goalkeeper and rams it into the top of the net. It was Aston Villa's corner 6 seconds ago. They raced clear. Salah went through the middle. Leon Bailey tried to drag him back. The ball spilled to Nunez, who rounded the goalkeeper and rammed it into the roof of the net, and Liverpool are in the lead.
Before they took that corner, I'm trying to attract your attention to say there's a counter-attack on here, and lo and behold, level with us is the last man, Digne, literally 25 yards from the Liverpool goal. Any turnover and first contact by Liverpool, the way they counter-attack, you're not catching them. And well, Villa, suicidal for me, the way they've pushed all their players on. As I say, last man there, Digne, 20 odd yards from goal. Liverpool first contact, you've got 8 acres, play it anywhere you want. And there it is. A potential sending off, maybe. Nunez has taken it out of his hands though and finished brilliantly.
I tell you what, Darwin Nunez putting that ball in the net has stopped Leon Bailey from being sent off. I think that's the denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
100%. It was basically 3-on-1 in
Should he be sent off anyway?
Well, this is the question. Is it double jeopardy? I don't know what the rules are they throw in. The referees give it no play on. He's overlooked the foul, which, right and proper, to be fair.
Well, he played the advantage. The problem is, if you play the advantage, you can't then send that player off because you haven't stopped the game. If you're going to send him off, you have to stop the game immediately. I think the referee actually, bearing in mind the rules that are probably hamstring him there, has done the right thing by allowing the play to go on, because Liverpool have got a goal out of it.
Oh, it's been a brilliant decision to play that on, but suicidal from Villa for me.
Liverpool lead, and here is McAllister into Nunez, back to McAllister again. Now they've got to come from behind Aston Villa in this game, which they've almost gifted the lead to Liverpool. We've only played 21 minutes, 1-0 the score. Out towards Ollie Watkins again, down on the left hand side. Well, Watkins has gone down, thrown himself to the floor after colliding with Konate, and I think David Coote is going to book him for diving.
Well, if he books him for diving, he should have booked Nunez earlier, who threw himself ridiculously early. But once again, the law comes, Pierce Peeve here by the way, the law comes in early season, we're going to outlaw diving. All of a sudden we've decided to ignore it.
No yellow card for Ollie Watkins. But Liverpool do have the lead, and Aston Villa still have their full complement. Unai Emery just trying to calm things down. Trent Alexander-Arnold's got an issue here, and the last thing that Liverpool fans will want to see is him injured. The last thing England fans will want is to see him injured, because there's quite a few issues in terms of injuries, especially in that England back line. And I think this is bad enough for him to be substituted inside the first half here, because Conor Bradley is getting stripped and ready for action down in front of us. He's got his number 84 shirt out of the bag, he's put it over the top of his Under Armour, and I think he's going to take the place of Alexander-Arnold inside the first 25 minutes, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, that's a big blow to them after getting their nose in front. I mean, let's just touch on that goal. Suicide. Whenever you come to Liverpool, arguably one of the quickest to go from back to front in the league, certainly with Salah in their ranks, you cannot overexpose yourself in pushing players on and leave that much space.
Who would have designed that? Because they do have a set-piece coach at Aston Villa, Austin McPhee, who's responsible for the way they set up at set-pieces, and it was initially a real success for them.
It definitely was, and you're looking to get a goal, and you outline the fact that you're coming to Liverpool and we've got an opportunity to score a goal on a counter-attack. I get all that, but all you've got to say is, look, if one of their players gets first contact in the box on the break, you know full well Salah is going at breakneck speed in behind your back line, and if there is no back line, you're going to have a problem.
Alexander-Arnold is wandering off, and he's going to be replaced by Conor Bradley. Well, I hope that's not as bad as it looks, because look, he's walking off the pitch, which is a good thing, but something's not right, because they immediately decided to make the substitution.
Yeah, you can only help think it's probably a muscular problem there. There'll be a blow to them. He started the game very well, Trent.
Well, Conor Bradley, an impressive right full-back, a Northern Ireland international, signed a new long-term contract a year ago. He's very well thought of here. His only starts have been in the League Cup this season, but he's on now to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. So a rejig for Liverpool, who lead by a goal to nil, live on TalkSport tonight. Ball given away cheaply by Liverpool, and it's fallen to Watkins inside the area, and his right-footed shot is dragged wide. Well, he turned the ball towards goal, faced up Ibrahima Konate. The route to the far corner wasn't clear, but he didn't get hold of it in the kind of manner that is required to test Caoimhin Kelleher. But that came about after a mistake by Liverpool giving the ball back to Aston Villa.
I've got to say, I'm not sure how you can get your technique that wrong and end up with a finish like that. You know, Resh mentioned before the game, what do you think is it with Villa? Well, the centre-forward is demonstrating to me he's lost a little bit of confidence in his work.
Salah out-muscles Digne, runs towards the Aston Villa penalty area. It's fed to Robertson, left-hand side. He can't find the pass back to Salah. Morgan Rogers wins it back. He's surrounded by three, though. Can he win it? He does, just about gets through. And then Onana spins the ball in behind the defence, but Konate is there to tidy up. And you can hear the chants of Ibu as they sing the name of Ibrahima Konate as he tidies up at the back for Liverpool. When you've got speed like that and awareness like that, you can play a slightly higher line, can't you?
Well, to be fair, he did cover the run, and he covered the run very well. Ball in behind, not as clear cut, and you've got to give your centre forward at least the start on the run, and I don't think they've done that, Villa.
McAllister on halfway, nudging it on to Diaz. Diaz running at Konza. Konza just lost him for a little bit there, and then Diaz was able to swing it to the other side and switch it out to Salah. It goes towards Nunez far post, but the ball was always a little bit too high, and Nunez flinging himself in the air maybe looked a little bit more dramatic than it actually was. It was about a foot over his head, really.
Yeah, it was. He's overcooked it, but my goodness, what a pick out that was at the far post. Absolutely brilliant. So just overcooked it, too much pace on it, too much loft on it, but he's got fantastic ability. He picks the ball up, and wherever you line up, if you show him that far corner, he'll shoot. If you don't, he'll pick up a diagonal pass to a teammate.
It's been fascinating watching Liverpool this season try loads of different variations up front, changing from sort of like, you know, a preferred centre forward in Diego Jota because of injury to having a false nine. On one occasion he played two false nine. Darwin Nunez is only fit genuine number 9 at this moment, because Jota is out with an impact injury to his upper body. He's got a rib problem that he sustained against Chelsea. But that doesn't mean that Nunez has started every game up until this point. Diaz has got 9 goals already this season. Italy, it took him until mid-February to get last season. Salah's got a lot of goals already this campaign, 9 as well. Nunez has now got 3. His goals have been sprinkled rather than showered so far this season. But he has one tonight, and Liverpool lead by a goal to nil. I think that's been sort of testament to Arne Slot that actually they've dealt with the hurdles that have been put in front of them as well.
Well, the fact of, as we mentioned earlier, they got 5 or 6 options in those front 3 positions, which is a wonderful position to be in for any football club.
I think he keeps them honest by being so direct and clear, and he's not afraid to take players off if there is an issue. He is a big personality. He commands the room when you speak to him, and he laid the law down right from the beginning. We mentioned the substitutions that he made early in his tenure, which just sent a message that he was the man in charge. If you weren't up to it, you weren't playing at his level, he would change you. And that's, I suppose, increased competition in the squad. And it means that those options that they have got along the front line are always fresh and ready to go when they do get the chance.
Yeah. And going back to Nunez's finish, he's probably, you can criticise him for missing chances like that. That was a tough finish for him, you know.
Here is Nunez playing the ball back to Salah. Salah trying to fire it forward. It hit Tielemans and was cleared away. It's a poor ball away by Morgan Rogers, and it's mopped up by Gravenberch inside the Aston Villa half, 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area. Salah spots Diaz, he miscontrolled it, went through his legs, and Bailey picks it up and tries to run it out of town. It goes back to Martinez in the end, and he clears up towards the halfway line. It remains 1-0 to Liverpool. Here is Morgan Rogers taking on Ibrahima Konate. Good luck with that. Konate runs across him, gets his body between ball and man, and waits for the contact to come to win the free kick.
I tell you what, showed great strength there, really, awareness, strength, you name it, everything you want from a defender. Composure.
Well, you're listening to Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches and all the vehicles that your business needs. You do get the sense, though, that there will be a little bit of trouble for the Liverpool back line at some point tonight. They've had patches in games where they've just switched off at the wrong time. I watched them down at Selhurst Park on TalkSport earlier in the season, where they dominated the game for 70 minutes. Palace were barely in it, and in the last 20 minutes, because they didn't finish Palace off, they could have ended up conceding an equaliser in that game.
Yeah, I think you can go through a lot of their results this year and probably call on elements of games where they had to suffer, let's say.
But Anfield remains an impenetrable fortress. They've won the last 6 games here. The blip against Forest almost forgotten, except maybe by Stewart. And worth noting that they've not lost 2 home games in the Premier League for 4 years. Ball on halfway, and it's with Tielemans back to Pau Torres. At walking pace now, Aston Villa have the ball inside their own half. Diego Carlos out to the right, and Konza, who tries to chip it over the top for Bailey to run in behind. He gets there ahead of Robertson and Van Dijk, and then plays a sensible ball into Rogers, who was being tracked well by Gravenberch. It repelled out to Bailey, who played it against the Dutchman, and it goes behind and away for a corner kick. Straight after we're finished here, the Sports Bar Weekender takes over and takes your calls. 03717 223344. Adam Catterall and Jermaine Pennant available.
Now, they've just conceded a goal because they had every player squeezed up within 25 yards of Liverpool's goal, and they've done exactly the same again.
So the counter-attack is on, is what you're telling me?
If Liverpool get first contact on the header and then get the second contact to break, you've got a problem. Look at Salah's position. He's on the penalty spot. We're thinking, I'll defend, but I'll tell you what, if we turn it over, I'm off.
And the ball comes out, and it does again. Oh, but it's one
Here we
back.
go.
And Salah has picked it up now, just short of the centre circle, and he's released Nunez, and Diaz is with him again, and Nunez is running through on the goalkeeper, and he fires over the top. Well, Aston Villa have surely got to learn their lesson, because that's the second time they've had a corner, and the second time that Nunez has been in front of goal with the net begging at his mercy.
Well, I didn't see that coming, Sam. I really didn't. I tell you what, can you cover for me for 5 minutes? I'm that frustrated. I'm going down to see Aston and say, are you not seeing the same game I'm seeing? Wow, this is unbelievable. If they have another corner and do exactly the same, it's ludicrous.
Well, Stuart Pearce spotted it before it happened the first time. You would have thought that they would have realised the second time, but that's twice. And they got a bit of a let-off there, that Nunez made such a hash of the finish, really, because he blasted that over the top. Too much power, not enough precision, and it rose into the cop rather than rippling the net behind Emi Martinez. Martinez just looked at all of the players in front of him and just say, are you mad, you lot? Here's Salah on towards Jones. Jones tussling now with Tielemans, and then winning it back when he thought he'd lost it, and Liverpool back in control.
I'll tell you what, I know Slot's team talk at half time, it's going to go, when we go out there second half, give them a corner. It's our best chance of scoring.
Currently Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0. The latest odds available via Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. Right now you can get Liverpool 11-2-1 to win the game, 14-1 for Villa. The draw 5-1, that's all thanks to Betfair, who are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute guarantee. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Here's Salah, right edge of the penalty area, flicking the ball in towards the near post, where he thought that McAllister had just strayed. But it was, again, just a little bit too heavy from the Egyptian, and Emi Martinez comes out and gobbles it up. What's happening in Barbados? Sam Ellard.
Well, scorching heat in Barbados all day. So, yep, you guessed it. It's now raining. Into the 5th over, and we're off for rain. Can you believe it? West Indies 33 for 3. King, Lewis, Hetmeyer all gone cheaply. Sakeem Mahmood has all 3 wickets. Hopefully it's just a shower and the cricket resumes shortly. When they do, West Indies will be 33 for 3.
Yeah, well, in Barbados, in the Caribbean area, when you have a shower, it doesn't last too long. It dries off very quickly, and when play does resume, you'll be able to hear it live on Talk Sport 2. A yellow card has come out for Morgan Rogers for what could only be described as a rather ridiculous challenge on Virgil van Dijk. He was late and he went right through the side of Virgil van Dijk, and it's going to be a yellow card for the England under-21 international. Liverpool lead by a goal to nil. Here is Conor Bradley. Came on as a first half substitute for Trent Alexander-Arnold. The ball has been bounced back to Diego Carlos, and now Onana looking to try and get it forward. He goes backwards rather than forwards. Carlos has got it again, and now Pau Torres has it. This is Talk Sport. Still City Derby tomorrow, by the way. 12:30 Talk Sport 2. What a game that is going to be. The Sunday session will have a reporter there, and all the other big games tomorrow as we go round the grounds from 1:30 live from Stamford Bridge tomorrow. Crookie, I and Henry Winter will be at Stamford Bridge. Perry Groves, where's he going tomorrow? Perry Groves, I think he's going to Tottenham. No, he's not going to Tottenham. Surely he can't be sending him to Tottenham. Here is Jacob Ramsey, edge of the penalty area, trying to get on the end of a ball that's played forward, cut out by Conor Bradley and cleared up to halfway. Where's he going? Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's a good gig for him. Nottingham Forest Newcastle, it's the Stuart Pearce derby. Here is Jacob Ramsey on the near side. It's taken in by Digne. Lovely floated cross into the 6-yard box. It just faded nicely as it went into the box, but Bailey and Rogers couldn't reach it, and it floats behind and away for a goal kick.
I tell you what, there's a theme of this half at the moment, and for me that theme is Liverpool winning all the 50-50s. They're muscling players out to get the ball. They want it a little bit more. They're keeping attacks alive, and they're returning balls over that should be lost, and Villa should have the ball, but they're just showing they've got a little bit more devilment about them.
And you have to have devilment when you come here. Here is Rogers down the right hand side. He's capable of a bit of that.
Here we go, Liverpool to score. Well, put a bet on now.
Rogers sent a cross into the centre, blocked by Robertson, and now look at this. Oh, they're going to send a back marker this time. They're going to make sure that Ezri Konsa stays within 10 yards. Emi Martinez is taken over. He's actually come out to the edge of the centre circle and said, no, don't go any further. He's pulled him back.
It's feast to famine now. They've got 4 players outside the box just to make sure. You've got to have a deep lying last man. That's the bottom line. That's how you stop the counter-attack.
Here is the corner taken by Digne in towards the near post, flicked in and pushed over the top by Kelleher from Diego Carlos's glancing header at the near post. A brilliant swirling delivery, and it went towards the goalkeeper who flapped it over the top.
I've got to say, obviously Alisson's one of the top goalkeepers in the world, but this fella's done well, hasn't he, since he's come in? Goes under the radar a little bit, but it's been pretty solid.
Very good. I think it was Onana who got the final touch. There's Carlos with another one. Cleared off the line by Kelleher. A brilliant save. It comes back towards Watkins, and it's smuggled out by the Liverpool defence. Back in by Tielemans towards the far edge of the 6-yard box, and it's into the side netting from Digne. The goalkeeper was beaten on that occasion. All ends up with a swirling delivery from this right-hand side, and that's 3 great chances for Aston Villa to equalise in the blink of an eye.
Well, you're right in what you say there. The goal is pulled off 2 magnificent saves. The second one, absolutely point blank, got his hands to it, and then the life of a goalie, he come out flapping for one, missed it totally, and Digne put it in the side netting.
What a chance that was for Aston Villa to get back on the score sheet and on level terms. And Queben Kelleher with 2 brilliant saves from 2 headers from a corner. The first one, which Carlos and Onana went up together, and Onana got the final touch. The second one, Carlos very much got enough on the ball that sent it down low to the goalkeeper's midriff, and I don't think he knew too much about it, but it was in the right position, and he got down low, and it hit him on the chest and came back out. They recycled the ball, by which time he was up and on his feet, but completely had lost his coordinates. It went over his head, and Digne sneaking in at the far post as the ball was reversed, put it into the side netting.
Yeah, well, I think when you strip this half back, it's a tale of four corners, basically.
Here is Rodgers. He's played it behind Watkins. They were moving up down the left side of the Aston Villa attack towards the edge of the Liverpool box, and it was the poor pass selection from Morgan Rodgers, and now Diaz is coming forward at the other end, trundling in on his right foot. He makes a poor pass, plays it behind Alexis McAllister, and it goes through to Ramsey on the near touchline. Then up over the halfway line it goes. Rodgers tries to take it over the head of Gravenberch, but can't control it, and Canate sees it back to his goalkeeper. 5 minutes to go before half-time then, and Liverpool have had one shot on target. Aston Villa have had two, but Liverpool lead by a goal to nil.
Yeah, you would say that across the board Liverpool have shown more confidence within the game, won more of the 50-50 challenges, but it's only 1-0 at the moment, fortunately enough, and that goal has come by Villa shooting themselves in the foot tactically from their own corners.
Well, they've had big chances, and Ollie Watkins has had big chances in recent matches. In fact, only Erling Haaland has had more big chances over the season than Ollie Watkins. However, he's only scored 4 of those, the lowest conversion rate of any of the 7 players in the league, with more than 10 big chances, 28.6%, which sort of underscores what Stuart was saying earlier about his lack of confidence in front of goal this season, which is amazing really, seeing as he scored one of the most famous goals in England's tournament history in the summer.
Yeah, he's just, you can tell by eye, he's just a little bit short.
Nunez shaping up for a shot from distance, and he wraps it towards the goalkeeper with real force after running in from the left touchline, but it was straight at Emi Martinez. Sorry, Stuart.
Yeah, no, you can see with Ollie Watkins that he's just short of a little bit of confidence. It manifests itself in probably the dynamic runs he's taking. When he's had the ball to take players on, he hasn't. He's played safe, and you probably say the same about one or two others. Rodgers has not been the dynamic player I saw in the early months of the season, and maybe one or two others as well.
1-0 to Liverpool. 2 big saves from Queeve and Kelleher. And Aston Villa have had a say in the game, no doubt. In fact, they were contributors to the Liverpool opener by being so open and leaving so many men up the pitch. When the counter-attack came, there was no one really to hold back the Liverpool surge, and even when Leon Bailey tugged back Mo Salah, the ball had spilt by then to Darwin Nunez, who could round the goalkeeper and ram it into the roof of the net. And that's where we are as we approach half-time on TalkSport tonight. A little bit of a different kick-off time for us, 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. Not our usual kick-off time, but when teams that are away in the Champions League play on a Wednesday night, they move things around a little bit. And 8 o'clock was given us Liverpool's opportunity to just rest a few extra weary limbs. Here's Diaz clipping it forward down the right-hand side. Salah brings it down in the box, right corner of the area, and then just sort of bounced off Jacob Ramsey and miscontrolled it, and it goes out for a corner.
Yeah, Salah there just lost the ball slightly, and Ramsey should have dealt with it in the box. His first touch, trying to take it away from any potential threat behind him, took it straight out of play.
Liverpool-Leverkusen was Tuesday night, wasn't it? So why did they change it to 8 o'clock tonight then? Usually that deal is Wednesday nights they change it to 8 o'clock if they're picked for 12:30. Interesting. And they were at home. Here is the corner from Robertson on the near side, and it'll be swung in with the goalkeeper trying to make some space for himself as it's flicked on by Diaz. Comes back out towards Gravenberch, who strikes it, and it goes right over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick away to our right.
Yeah, Gravenberch was lining up for that one with his foot behind the back of his neck, actually. You know, he's like Desperate Dan.
Did he have a cow pie, though? That's the big question.
It'd be an interesting time for Unai Emery, I think, you know what I mean? He's had a halcyon rise at Villa, done fantastically well, and this is the first time a little bit of a blip with a couple of results potentially.
Yes. And Izzy has pointed out it was Aston Villa are playing away from home in the Champions League on Wednesday. That's the reason why it's late tonight. But that was an early kick-off as well, wasn't it? It's a 5:45, and it wasn't exactly a long trip. Club Brugge. I mean, they probably did go on the train.
Don't argue with Izzy. You know how she decimated you about 2 hours ago in the press room.
For about an hour and a half.
Yeah, indeed.
Here is Robertson down the left-hand side into the box, trying to get it clear. Was Ramsey. Tielemans eventually helped it away. Goes back out to the far side and collected by Darwin Nunez, and then it's picked up by Virgil van Dijk into Gravenberch forward, back to Gravenberch once again. There's a bit of space on this near touchline for Mo Salah, and then he tries to take on Luca Digne, the former Everton left full-back. He goes on the outside, then on the inside, then tries to weave his way past him. Digne holds him up momentarily, but Salah's got it back again. And then, oh dear, Jacob Ramsey's just kicked out to try and win the ball, and ping, the hamstring has gone. Immediately the hand went up, and they're going to have to make a change as well.
Yeah, not good. He was in his own box there. Salah was in full flight, and he's just tried to flick out of the ball, and that was his lot.
I just wonder whether or not it'll be John McGinn that they turn to, because he is a regular, the captain, left out tonight, maybe because of the workload I think that he's been under. But the change which is going to come in stoppage time, of which there will be 3 minutes, is going to come immediately. And yeah, it's John McGinn who's getting stripped and ready for action, Stuart. Are you surprised to see him out tonight?
I am, yeah. I think he's been off form. I talked to Gary Thompson earlier downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Just spoke with him. He obviously covers Villa week in, week out, and he said to me, he's just been suffering a bit of form at the moment, you know. So, but to be fair, it's games like this and characters like him that might give Villa a lift. This might play into their hands slightly.
Well, it's only 1-0, isn't it? And while it's always 1-0, there is a opportunity for Aston Villa to get back into the game. Unai Emery just having a word with his bench and making a decision that McGinn is now going to come on. Immediately the armband is transferred to his left bicep, and McGinn will be the captain for the remainder of the match. Off comes Jacob Ramsey, who looks very uncomfortable as he hobbles off, and I hope that's not a bad hamstring.
Can I just make a point here on the corners, that Villa's corners that they've suffered on with the counter-attack?
This is the new Pierce pet peeve, isn't it?
No, it isn't. I'm just trying to say, what they've done to solve the problem is put Konsa right back in the circle, basically, to defend it.
Yeah.
So not only have they dropped a player back, they've put one of their players that is a real threat as a header, you would suspect.
The physical presence.
Exactly.
Right away from the action.
Exactly, so he can't score a goal. For me, you've got to put a player back there, I understand that, but why take one of your defining headers of the ball away and one of your threats away?
Emi Martinez has just kicked the ball straight out of play as we get underway, and we've had 2 of the 3 added minutes here, but we've played none of them, so this will probably go now up to about 49-50 minutes of first team action at Anfield. It has been a fascinating first 45 minutes. Here is Jones tussling with Tielemans. Tielemans pulls him down. Yellow card is coming, and a free kick for Liverpool. Is that a bit harsh?
I'm waiting to see it again, to be quite honest with you. The answer is no. He's had his arm around his shoulder, he's the wrong side of him, and you can understand why the referee's booked him for it.
There we are.
I think I've seen a lot of that lately, players getting the wrong side in this mid-band of the pitch, not in critical areas, Sam, and people are tugging them back and taking cheap yellow cards, and the bottom line is later in the game you're under big pressure.
Well, we've seen that in recent days, haven't we? Just how difficult it can be if you give yourself or you give your wicket away by getting 2 cheap yellow cards. Here is Kelleher on the edge of the 18-yard box. A square ball into Virgil van Dijk. 60% possession for Liverpool, 40% for Aston Villa. 9 shots on goal from Villa to Liverpool 6, 2 each on target. And Kelleher has made 2 brilliant saves, and bearing in mind he hasn't had to do anything else apart from that, he did well to react the way he did so quickly. He did catch himself after and could have conceded a goal to Luca Digne, but it's still 1-0 Liverpool, and they're looking for a second here with Salah running through the middle, coming in off the right touchline, feeds Diaz on the left-hand side. Robertson's crossing the middle, well read by Pau Torres, who sticks out his left foot, touches it over towards the far side. Excellent intervention, and it is out and away for what would have been a corner kick, but the referee has blown the half-time whistle, and as a result of that, the 2 sets of players start moving towards the touchline on this near side. It's been an interesting first 45 minutes, Stuart Pearce, but not one that necessarily Aston Villa will be too happy with. Darwin Núñez scoring after an Aston Villa corner, a breakaway which he finished. He could have had a second just moments after when the same scenario replicated itself, but he misfired, and then Kelleher had to come to Liverpool's aid from 2 corners at the other end. It's all about corners today, Resh, and it's at the moment Liverpool have taken them better. Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0. Yes, thank you, Rashmin. It's still 1-0 to Liverpool, and Aston Villa start us off with white shirts, white shorts and white socks, and they're attacking the goal away to our right. In this second half, Liverpool all in red, attacking the Anfield Road end, and Ollie Watkins immediately on the hunt in behind, and it's won by Rodgers, who's inside the box now, slips it past the goalkeeper and past the post. And there was a problem for Ibrahima Konate in a collision with Ollie Watkins as that ball went forward. It bounced to Morgan Rodgers on the inside left channel. He cut into the box. He had the goal at his mercy, and he sent it well beyond the left-hand upright. What a chance that was right at the beginning of the second half for Aston Villa.
Yeah, and he should have done so much better, I've got to say. Firstly, Konate's gone up, headed it, fell sort of awkwardly, sort of jarred his knee, I think, as he's limping away there. But certainly when Villa went through, opened the goal up, opened his body up, and just got the finish horribly wrong. And when you come to Anfield, you can't miss chances like that. They're too good to miss.
Well, that's the 10th shot they've had in the game, the 6th off target, and it is probably about the 4th really presentable opportunity that they've had. 2 of them, I think, which were on target, were repelled by Kelleher, who's done brilliantly, and you've got to give him credit for that. But Digne probably will think, when he looks back at his chance, he should have scored, and Rodgers will at least have thought he should have hit the target.
No, there is absolutely no doubt about that at all. He's literally probably 7 metres away from the near post and just got his finish horribly wrong.
Well, last season, Aston Villa rescued a draw late on against Liverpool at Villa Park with 2 late John Duran goals. He's on the bench today. Here it was a different story at Anfield. Liverpool swept Villa aside in the first hour. In fact, Villa haven't won here at Anfield for a decade. The last Villa player to score a winner at Anfield was?
A decade ago.
You know him well.
Oh, no, don't do that to me. Stan Collymore.
No. The other TalkSport villain.
Bentley.
No, the other one.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Gabby Agbonlahor.
Oh, of course. I know him very well.
The man who did his coaching courses with Ruben Amorim and taught him all he knew. The Gabster. Ball in towards Núñez. It's chested into the air, falls down for Luis Diaz, who gets away down the left touchline, plays it to Robertson, a chance to cross in towards Núñez with a header wide of the goal. Well, he got up brilliantly again, but he's missed the target. It was a terrific cross from this left-hand side, and he leapt up above the centre half, got himself just wide of the posts, I think, and then just sort of thrust his header goalwards, and he's missed the target.
So the whole situation was set up there, goes back to exactly what I said. Diaz has won a 50-50 tackle in the box, wanted it more, kept the attack alive, ended up setting up the cross, and Diaz really, really unfortunate. Probably got it too straight, too clinical, needed a glance off his head.
Oh dear, playing out from the back, they've gifted the ball straight back to Liverpool on the edge of their own penalty area. The ball collected by Gravenberch and then swept to the other side of the pitch towards Bradley, away by Digne, and it's out over on the far side. The Gabster, by the way, born on the 13th of October, not a Friday, oddly, 1986. It was the day of a huge summit between President Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev in Iceland, would you believe?
Was it really?
Yeah. A former soap star was number one with Every Loser Wins.
Were they discussing his birth? Was that on the topic? That was the impact that he's had on the world.
Who sung Every Loser Wins? Which may or may not be apt for the day of Gabby's birth.
Hang on, don't come to me on that.
1986. There you go. Have a think about that.
Is that like someone like Kenny Loggins or someone like that? It's an Irish singer, isn't it?
Soap star.
Oh, is it?
Ball forward by Tielemans on towards the Watkins. He doesn't quite get there. Across comes Jones. That's a great challenge by him.
Nick Berry.
Correct.
Oh, I've got one right.
You should get on a game show.
Oh, I'd love to.
Here's Robertson. Back to Van Dijk.
I've heard Tipping Point tomorrow night at 7 o'clock's fantastic by all accounts. A great episode by all accounts.
All right, okay. I might give that a watch.
Yeah, you've got to be a smart cookie to do well in that.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I got knocked out second round. We'll see what happens tomorrow night, though.
Yeah, you've got to give the machine a nudge, fella.
All right, okay. 5 minutes into the second half. Liverpool have the ball on the halfway line. Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0. You're listening to Talk Sport. Jones just holding it at walking pace on halfway. Liverpool not desperate to send it forward, bearing in mind that they have that advantage, that slender lead given them to them by Nunez. He could have had two more since then, but Aston Villa have had chances too, and they're not out of it just yet, even though they've been second best in most of the game. Nunez back to McAllister. McAllister on the left-hand side, plays it into Robertson. Liverpool used to struggle against Aston Villa. They were kind of their bogey team. The Reds won just one of their 6 Premier League home games between the years of 2009 and 2014. But they've won 5 of the last 6 against them recently, and they're winning this one. Here's Robertson. Back to McAllister. Again, back to halfway. This is where you see the different style of Liverpool, just holding the ball and popping it around on the halfway line between the midfielders and the back line. Conor Bradley to the right-hand side. They wait patiently for the opening to present itself, and then when it does come, they'll force it into the area where one of their more advanced players has just found a pocket of space, whatever that should be. Ball switched out towards Sutter. It's a little bit too heavy. It goes out of play over on the far side. Nick Berry, I'll give you a big clap for that one.
Well, in fact, one a decade I get right, and there it was. Nick Berry. What chance we got. I think it's important as well with Liverpool. You mentioned about this patient build-up, and you're right in what you're saying to the eye, but I like the fact they've not just got rid of the quick ball to Salah in behind when it's on, you know. That balance between the two is so important.
Yeah, balance, control is what Arne Slot is all about. They're struggling here, Aston Villa, to get the ball out from defence, and again Ponta's received it down by the corner flag. I mean, what is he going to do with it there? He sent it straight out of play with no chance to escape, and Liverpool have got it back again, throw it in towards Gravenberch, and then Jones will be set to play, and Liverpool have got it back on halfway, and they're conducting the game once more. Jones, Nunez, he's given it straight to John McGinn, who's ratted around him and won it, and now powered away. Looked to release Watkins, didn't get it into Watkins, but Konate's given it back. It's Tielemans now edge of the area, through the legs of McAllister, out wide to Bailey on the right side, gets into the box, tries to shove it forward, runs into Robertson, the ball is repelled, and Liverpool just about bring it clear. But that quick turnover came about because John McGinn was very quickly on a Liverpool shirt when they made a mistake.
Yeah, he certainly was. The pass was probably a yard or so away from Nunez, and McGinn straight on top of him.
Rodgers has got a chance now, steering it forward. It just didn't fall kindly for Watkins after he thrust it forward on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it was cleared away by Liverpool, and Diego Carlos at the other end comes across to stop Nunez from getting on the counter-attack. Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Forest against Newcastle and Chelsea Arsenal live tomorrow. Search now Sports.
Yeah, Villa need to stay in this game and get some confidence, really believe that they can get something, because they've had a couple of decent opportunities at this stage.
Just getting into a good little half space once again. He's robbed by Diaz. Free kick is given in Aston Villa's favour. The better chances though are on that quick turnover, aren't they, where they just spot someone in a pocket of space and then get the ball quickly up towards Watkins.
Yeah, they certainly are. Any loose balls in there or any sort of turnover of possession, you've got to make sure that you compete strongly for the turnovers of possession, which Liverpool have done slightly better than Villa, I think.
Well, they don't want to do what they did last weekend, which is concede 4 second half goals like they did to Tottenham. Here is Robertson back in the left full-back position. Forward he shovels the ball into the path of Jones, who nudges it back again. And Liverpool supporters just sensing that their team just lost a little bit of that control they were showing with the 2 quick turnovers, have started to get behind their team once again. 9 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool lead by that goal given to them by Darwin Núñez. And remember, tomorrow the Steel City Derby is live on TalkSport from 12:30. During the international break, we've got live commentary from England. And they take on Greece and Ireland, and they need to win those games. Bailey down the right side, trying to get into the box. Looks to push it forward to Watkins. The interception comes from Van Dijk. And then it goes into midfield. And they've got it once again, Liverpool.
Just get the impression, where's this game panned out? I'm seeing if Villa believe a bit more, a Villa equaliser, and then probably Liverpool being roared on by this home support to nick a winner.
Troy Deeney was saying it about Wolves earlier in the day on TalkSport when he was talking about just that little bit of extra belief, just go for it. You know, the confidence may have drained because of recent results, but if you get that little edge, there is something in the game for you. They did up it, they did win it, and that might fill them with confidence over the next couple of weeks. They were winners earlier on today by 2-0. Elsewhere in the Premier League, the big result came down at the Amex Stadium where Brighton beat Manchester City by 2-1. West Ham drew 0-0 with Everton, and West Ham fans unhappy about that. Crystal Palace beaten at home by Fulham, and Brentford beat Bournemouth in the Premier League today. If you want to have your say, Adam Catterall and Jermaine Pennant are on the Sports Bar Weekender from just after 10 o'clock tonight. 03717 22 33 4. Tielemans wins it ahead of Bradley, turns it over on the halfway line, feeds it into the path of Watkins, who's on the far side. He's challenged by Bradley, poor challenge by him. Free kick given 10 yards back from the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, wide on the left as Aston Villa look at it.
Yeah, once again a slight loose pass there. Villa are onto it and they've got to go. They've really got to set sail with probably more players than they actually did on that occasion. Get players up to support Watkins quickly.
Couple of substitutes warming up for Aston Villa and Liverpool down in front of us. Many moments to go before anybody thinks about making a change here though, because 57 on the clock and an attacking free kick for Aston Villa, one that Liverpool need to concentrate in. They've got Onana, who's caused problems aerially, Diego Carlos, who has 2. It's in towards the near post. It's a poor delivery, and Pau Torres is claiming that he was wrestled to the ground and wants a penalty kick, but John McGinn is asking for the VAR to check. The Aston Villa throw-in taker over on the far side is there's a shirt pull inside the box there by Conor Bradley, who's just been booked. Now, was it enough to drag Pau Torres to the floor? I don't know. But the VAR is certainly having a quick look at this for a possible penalty. Well, he definitely pulled him back, Stuart, but how much of the contact is consequential? No penalty, play on.
Well, I don't know how much you're supposed to pull and how much you're not. He was certainly pulling his shirt. You could see that clearly. Is a pull, or is a pull or not a pull at a non-pull time?
Well, it depends how good you are with a pull, really. Here is McGinn into the penalty area, and a foul has been given against Van Dijk for probably half the amount of contact that was perpetrated on Pau Torres. Unai Emery's going mad. He thinks it was a pull, and it was a pull that should have been punished.
There's too many words of pull in one sentence, there's no doubt. Yeah, he's having a little go at the fourth official.
Yes.
Get it off your chest.
Sam Allison is getting it in the neck, I'm afraid. The fourth official, because he knows that Unai Emery has seen the tug. Here is Diaz on this near side, the left, charging into the box, so he's allowed to go a long way. Pau Torres gets it clear, picked up by McAllister. Far side was Nunez, dropped into the box. He came from an offside position, Nunez. Up goes the flag, and the game's still going on. The referee wants to play on here. The ball sent in towards the near post. It's cleared away by Konsa, and now the referee decides that he's going to blow the whistle. The flag went up ages ago. That's what Onana is saying.
See, if you don't stop play, because you should really, because the linesman was adamant it's offside. If you play on, when Villa get the ball back, I think you're punishing them twice, Sam. I really do.
But also, the other thing here is that the flag went up, and we're told when the flag goes up, that's when they make the decision. If it's 5 yards or more, they'll keep the flag. If it's under 5 yards, they'll keep the flag down. That was so clear, that offside. We saw it, the assistant saw it. Why did the referee not stop the game?
That's something we do not know.
Given away by Aston Villa's Diego Carlos, picked off by Robertson, sent down the left for Nunez. Nunez tries to get to the edge of the penalty area, opens his body up, sends it into Diaz. Diaz leaves it for Salah. Salah onto his left foot, blocked by Tielemans inside the D, and it bounces towards the halfway line. Back it comes again with Liverpool and Van Dijk, who runs into Bailey. Bailey gives it back to him. It's shoveled on towards Nunez, who gets away from Tielemans. Right-footed shot into the arms of Emi Martinez. There's a couple of examples of what Stuart's been talking about all night there. 50-50s that only went one way, the red way.
Yep, you're so right.
Rodgers holding off McAllister this time, then trying to feed Watkins. It's such a poor ball though, and Ibrahima Konate not only wins the first challenge but the second one as well. Interesting comment from Pep Guardiola tonight in the aftermath of his team losing down at Brighton. He said maybe after 7 years winning 6 Premier Leagues, maybe 1 year another team deserves it. So is that Pep Guardiola already suggesting that Manchester City are not going to win the league?
Well, the one thing you can say is Pep will know before we do the strength or weaknesses of his team. And some of the words that come out of there, I thought before the Bournemouth game, some of his wording was strange.
Yes, you pointed that out on Tuesday night prior to the Sporting Lisbon game with us live on Talk Sport, didn't you?
I did. As I say, it's a little bit too negative for my liking.
We are not able to do 90 minutes right now. We played a really good first half, moments in the second half, but we lost again so clean our heads. International break, and hopefully our players come back fit. Asked whether City's form was a worry, he said we have to try and win games again. We're not able to sustain the rhythm in the second half. 4 defeats in a row, we have to change things quick. Here is Jones out towards the near touchline looking for Diaz. Did he keep it in? Just about, I think. Down by the byline, then cuts back towards the near side. A little exchange of passes between McAllister and Robertson. An opportunity to cross for McAllister, and then he just sort of allowed it to go too far across his body and then had to nudge it back to Van Dijk before starting again. 2 Liverpool changes incoming. Gakpo and Szoboszlai about to enter the fray here on Talk Sport, where Liverpool lead by a goal to nil. 63 on the clock. Infield it goes to Diaz. Diaz nudging it back towards Gravenberch once again, and then it's sent long to Konate. Konate forward into Bradley. Bradley gets away from Watkins, who then tries to make the challenge from the wrong side, gives away a free kick.
Yeah, got a couple of subs for each team, I think, coming on. Both managers shaking the pack up.
Yep, John Duran is coming on, and the other change is going to see the arrival of Jayden Philogene. He also is entering the fray. So John Duran, Jayden Philogene about to come on, and Cody Gakpo and Dominic Szoboszlai entering for Liverpool. We're going to wait until the free kick is taken here before they make those changes. So we'll tell you who comes off in just a second, but you know who's about to come on. McAllister is sizing up the free kick, which is 12 yards back from the edge of the penalty area, far on the right-hand side. He'll swirl this, an outswinger towards the far post. Diaz is underneath it and sends it over the top of the crossbar with a header, which goes straight over the top and into the Anfield Road end. We'll tell you about the substitutes on the other side of an update from Barbados. Sam Ellard.
81 for 5. The good news for England, 5 wickets in the first 10 overs. Mahmood, he's got 3 wickets. Al Rashid has 2 wickets. The dangerous news for England, Paul Rand's looking good, not out on 34, and the dangerous Andre Russell has just come to the crease. Ish Drinks, 10 overs gone, West Indies 81 for 5.
And live ball-by-ball coverage of the T20 series is available on TalkSport 2. If you haven't got access to it yet, then just download our app, and then you can flick between TalkSport, TalkSport 2, all the great podcasts that we've got, and all of the other stations in our family. Talk, Virgin Radio Chilled, which I know is right up Stuart Street, and Times Radio as well. If they do a Virgin Radio punk, I'll let you know.
I would be more than happy to pop on as give my contribution.
It was Jones and Nunez who came off for Liverpool, as Emi Martinez manages to clear upfield. John Duran coming on for Ollie Watkins, which is the big change for Aston Villa. And Jaden Philogene coming in on this right-hand side has replaced Leon Bailey. There are the changes so far in the game. So 3 each. 2 made in the first half because of injury issues to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who England will be concerned about, and John McGinn, who had to come in for Jacob Ramsey, who looked like he'd tugged a hamstring. Here is Queen Kelleher. We're 20 minutes played in the second half, live at Anfield tonight. The Sunday session comes from Stamford Bridge tomorrow, Chelsea-Arsenal. But we've got an absolute plethora of Premier League, Championship, WSL, Scottish action for you tomorrow, so make sure you join us on the Sunday session. We're on air from 1:30. We're sending Perry Groves to Forest. Alex Cook will be with me at Stamford Bridge with Henry Winter. We'll be high up on the gantry watching Chelsea and Arsenal. What a big game that is for Arsenal, and maybe they'll get a little bit of encouragement from Manchester City's result today. Liverpool certainly will. If it stays like this, they will be 5 points clear at the top of the table. Arne Slot, who has become just the 5th manager to win as many as 8 of his first 10 Premier League games in charge, after John Gregory, Gus Hiddink, Carlo Ancelotti and Ange Postecoglou, will be only the 2nd of that group to win the 11th match in the sequence. That one was Ange Postecoglou last year. So what happens here? Does Slot get over the line too? They have the ball on the halfway line, they have control of the match, they have the edge on the scoreboard, but can they see it through to the end of the game? Robertson comes forward, out to McAllister, back to Nunez, and then all the way through to Virgil van Dijk, who finds Konate, and then Bradley back into Konate, and all the way to Kelleher, who looks like he's wearing tracksuit bottoms. I think it's just black leggings he's wearing under the black shirts and the goalkeeping uniform that he's got on tonight. Ball played down the left elegantly, looking for the run of Diaz. Diaz gets in behind but can't get the cross into anyone in red, and it's gobbled up and cleared away.
Yeah, I think Liverpool's ace card at the moment, as you say, that they're ahead on the scoreboard, but also as well, this possession game that they've got at the moment is probably quite wise, actually. It's just taking the sting out of Aston Villa, moving them around, emptying their gas tanks out a little bit.
Well, they lead by a goal to nil, and the latest odds are available at Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. Right now you can get Liverpool at 6-1 on. Aston Villa at 25-1. The draw is 9-2. It's all thanks to Betfair, who are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute guarantee. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Forward by Pau Torres. It's a long ball raking up towards the halfway line. Duran is bullied by Konate. It drops in the centre circle. Won by Van Dijk. And then he just holds on, waits, and this rather patient possession football from Liverpool, just taking the sting out of Villa and the sting out of the game. And while it stays like this, they'll be happy. Of course, always at 1-0, slightly dangerous to assume that you're going to carry the 3 points. There's always the vulnerability of a quick turnover of possession, a mistake from someone. And Liverpool came into this match unbeaten in the last 12 games, and they won 11 of those, so they know how to get the job done. Van Dijk, long out to the far side, header away by Digne. Ball bounces down for Bradley. There's a bit of a strong collision from John McGinn, who went in on Mo Salah, and he just used his big backside to shield the ball like he does, but he's taken Mo Salah down.
Yeah, he did. This is an interesting one, this. Once again, he's probably just turned his back into Salah, and Salah sort of threw his sort of hind legs up in the air, didn't he, you know?
Well, John McGinn,
in terminology.
John McGinn is quite happy to use his posterior. He's vocal about it, and on that occasion I don't think he did too much wrong, really, but the free kick has been given, and Anfield rises and waits in anticipation as the free kick comes in from Szoboszlai. The goalkeeper's come a very long way and missed it. It's gone right through to the left-hand side, and Gakpo is trying to chip it to the far post, and this time it's grabbed by Emi Martinez. He did score from an attempted cross the other week, Cody Gakpo, and he wasn't going to get away with it twice in quick succession.
I thought he was going to take that first time, actually, because the goalkeeper had come for it, missed it, and I thought his better option would have been to take a shot as soon as it landed at his feet first time.
Aston Villa have not been as defensively secure this season as they were last campaign. They have kept just one clean sheet in 11 Premier League matches now, and that is something that Unai Emery will have to look at. It's a disease that's catching. Here's Gakpo again, cutting in from the left-hand side. A right-footed effort from range this time goes miles over the top of the bar. It was an ambitious effort. He was just about, I think, onside as the ball was played over the top. He cut in onto his right foot, got inside the box and unleashed an effort which was, 7, 8, 9 yards over the bar?
Yeah, it was. He done everything right, but just didn't control the effort. But I've got to say, what a wonderful ball by Robertson that was. Just he dropped his shoulder and spun in behind, and Robertson found him with a fantastic pass.
Aston Villa struggling to keep hold of possession here now, and Emi Martinez just kicked the ball long. It's been picked off twice, once by Bradley, once in that particular move by Ryan Gravenberch, and Liverpool are just coasting with possession here with 19 to play. Just wonder, Champions League football bound to make a difference, bound to reduce your intensity over the course of the season because you're playing so many more games of high-octane football. It has been visible in the performances against Bournemouth and Manchester United from Aston Villa that it's affected them, and this trip is much tougher than those two, Stuart. But they've got to make the most of it when they do get to break, and they're breaking now with Onana sending the ball out wide towards the left. It's collected by Rodgers, and again the pass selection wasn't right. It's come back to Onana, but McGinn maybe rushed it, and then Philogene runs towards this near side, but was in an offside position initially when the first ball came out. So he's flagged offside as soon as he touches it, and Liverpool have it back again. They've got to make the most of those moments.
They certainly have. Looked as though they're reaching to the substitutes bench once again, Villa, but you're right in what you say. You turn over, it's 4-on-4. Neither of the two forward passes were that clinical to take a player out of the game, though.
Just need to be crisper, firmer, into the right area in front of that player to get onto, rather than having to just slow up or hesitate or check their run.
Yeah, as soon as you're checking your run, you know the attack's dead, to be quite honest with you, especially against the athletic side that are Liverpool, that are recovered position. 17
to go. This is TalkSport, and it is Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Here's the change then, and on comes Ian Martson to replace the left back Digne, who is formerly of Everton, so gets a boo from the Anfield crowd, and Boubacar Kamara comes on, and he replaces Andre Onana in the heart of midfield. Kamara, who missed the start of the season with injuries, says he recovered with a knee problem. He was a big player actually a couple of seasons ago, or last season for them. They've won the ball here, giving it to Philogene down the right hand side into the penalty area, against the byline, low cross in towards the near post. Gakpo tries to get it away, it's cleared by Robertson, bobbles up off of the chest of McAllister, and then they hack it to halfway. But Pau Torres is going to get there first. Oh, what happened here? The referee's pulled it back, and it's going to be a Liverpool free kick. Now, was he suggesting that it was a bit of pulling back?
Must have done. It's something I've missed. Not often you miss exactly what that was for.
It was as they cleared it all. Oh, was there a bit of wrestling from Diego Carlos? Did he just hold back?
Yeah. Slight nudge.
Wasn't much in it, was there?
No. Slight grapple.
15 ago. This is Talk Sport. And Liverpool, I think it's probably fair to say, will have overachieved, exceeded expectations. They go 5 points clear. Here is Szoboszlai centering the ball through the legs of Konza, who lets it go, and it runs out on this near touchline, and Gakpo will relieve it. Sends it back into the centre, looking for Szoboszlai. Gets a little nudge from McGinn. Drops for Martson, who looks to try and get the ball up the pitch to Duran. Duran holds it, tucks it back to McGinn, and then Duran comes infield inside the Villa half, throws himself to the floor. Referee says get back up. Kamara holds on to possession, and Villa have it, but they're just about keeping it. Duran is back on his feet and charging through the centre. Tielemans has it in the centre circle.
I think Villa are at that stage in the game now. Everything's got to go forward now. They've got to throw players forward, and they've just got to find that extra little spurt of energy from somewhere to have a tilt at this game. Because Liverpool, I think, are just happy to see it out at present, keep possession.
What have you made of Morgan Rogers? It hasn't been one of his better games, has it? There's a tug back by Kamara as Gravenberch tries to get into the penalty area. The referee has now decided to pull that back. It's going to be a yellow card for Kamara, who's just come off the bench, and it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool. Dear, oh dear.
Yeah, as I say, he's grabbed hold of his shirt, he's running, pulling his shirt off his shoulder, and a yellow card was the outcome. Yeah, he's not going back to your point there, Sam. He's not been fully at it, and there's been probably too many players that have just been off the standards they set early in the season, I think.
Yeah, I think Rodgers is probably getting to the stage where, as a 22-year-old in the Premier League, playing week in, week out in the Champions League as well for the first time, is just feeling the effects of the season. And it's something that Emery pointed to. Why is he going away with the under-21s when he's 22 years of age? Ball in towards the penalty spot, headed away from the free kick by Villa, who pick it up now with John Duran, who's looking to escape, does well to hold it, does brilliantly to hold it, and then now has got to feed Martson, who's going down the left-hand side. McGinn's running through the centre, but they switched it out to Philogene instead. He runs up towards the edge of the penalty area, tries to go on the outside, didn't spot Luis Diaz coming from behind him, then commits a foul on Robertson, and another attack falls apart in the final third for Aston Villa, and that's been the tale of the tape, I'm afraid.
Diaz has run half the length of the pitch there to help his full-back out. That's why you end up winning football matches.
Well, he's done brilliantly going forward. He's done brilliantly getting back to help out his team. And he has just kept running and running and running. And that little nudge, that little pinch from behind when Philogene wasn't looking in his wing mirrors has meant the ball is firmly back at the feet of Queven Kelleher. Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0, live on Talk Sport in the Premier League. Championship football for you tomorrow comes from the Steel City United against Wednesday, and that game kicks off at 12:30. It's on Talk Sport 2. We'll have action on Talk Sport. Philogene robbed by Luis Diaz. Again, I'm not sure he did that much wrong, Luis Diaz there.
Well, what he did right, he fought for the ball, Sam, and that is a great trait to have, especially when the margins are so close.
He's a little bit like a firework, Luis Diaz. He is full of energy, he often explodes, and you never really know quite what direction he's going to go off in. But he's a useful asset. Here is Rogers, who is a useful asset too. He's got past Konate, but he sent him a little bit wide, got to the byline and won a corner kick. And that was sensible from Rogers.
Yeah, nervous times I think for Liverpool. Villa are coming into it. They've playing players forward a little bit more readily, and they know they've got to go chasing this game now.
Well, we've mentioned it all night that Liverpool have been in control of possession, but it only says 1-0 on that Anfield scoreboard, and whilst it only says 1-0, there is always that creeping sense that maybe Villa can climb back into the game. A corner to be taken over on the far side. They'll be whipped in under Kelleher. They've caused problems from before. Kelleher misses it. It goes past him towards the far corner, and it goes out for another corner kick on this near side.
Yeah, Canati got the touch just in front of the goalkeeper there, and if you're not sure as a defender, don't leave it. Help it on its way, and that's exactly what he's done. He's had a good evening's work tonight, Canati.
Again, look how many players they've committed forward, Aston Villa, right on the edge of the penalty area. Martin's got it back off of McGinn. Again, it's sort of double bounced off Gakpo and Robertson, who are very quick out towards the short corner and stop them from getting a cross in. I mean, at this juncture, you're better served just delivering a good ball into the box, aren't you?
Well, you certainly are, but like Konsa is still the last man now. I don't know why you do that. You've got 10 minutes to go in the game. You're chasing the game. Go after him.
And it's a terrible corner, and they've given the ball away. And Gakpo has released Salah, and Salah is bounding forward. He's found Luis Diaz. Diaz misses the tackle. Konsa sweeps in, just about gets there, and Aston Villa's backstop just about does his job, and he was lucky. Now they've worked it forward into McGinn. McGinn coming forward. First time ball into the box. Duran is there. And he slides in, plays the ball forward. I think he took a deflection off Van Dijk, and that's going to go out for a corner. Well, it's end-to-end stuff now.
Well, that's why Konsa was last man, because if he wasn't, every chance Liverpool get another goal and finish the game. Good defending there. Yeah, it was good defending as well. Van Dijk's got first contact, which ran right on, breathing down his neck.
Well, Van Dijk may have got there first, but Duran made his presence felt, and now they've got another chance to get the ball in the box. And this is the third time from this side in front of the Kop that Ian Martin has had the chance to deliver. He's gone short to McGinn. McGinn on his left foot delivers it to the far post. Coming round the back was Philogene. It's under the goalkeeper, but it's going to bounce on top of the net rather than under the bar, and it's going to go behind and away for a goal kick.
Yeah, you just get the impression these last 10 or 15 minutes Villa are starting to believe. They're pushing men on, they're looking to lock on a little bit and be more aggressive, and that's probably dovetailed with the fact that Liverpool just really want to keep possession and get this game over with.
Ball cleared upfield by Kelleher, away by Diego Carlos. There's 8 minutes plus stoppage time still to play for Liverpool to hang on to this 1-0 lead. And Aston Villa, who haven't been at their best in the match, are just having their best spell of the match. And that's just a little bit concerning for Liverpool as they approach the conclusion of the game. And that failure to put it to bed, and Nunez has missed 2 really good chances. There's been a couple of other skirmishes that maybe they should have done better with, but Liverpool haven't run away from Aston Villa like they will be running away at the top of the Premier League should they secure victory here. Here is Martson over on the left, galloping into opposition territory. Support from Tielemans centrally, and then into midfield where Boubacar Kamara, who has his hair braided down the back of his head and onto his neck, sends the ball back to halfway. Konsa back into Diego Carlos, across to Pau Torres, the long, lean central defender, who gets it back again when Martson almost lost it, and then Torres comes forward with the ball at his feet, carries it well, finds Duran, who spreads the play to the left, then bursts into the box looking for the cross, and then it's blocked by Bradley before it can reach the penalty area, and it goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag.
Yeah, more tempo in the attacks there now by Villa, throwing players forward.
That was a classic sort of centre-forward move, wasn't it? Laying it off and then spinning and running into the box waiting for the cross. The cross didn't reach him, but Pau Torres has stayed up from the back, and then he's gone down inside the penalty area, asking for a penalty, which I don't think he's going to get. Oh, and then a really big mistake by Carlos, has given the ball to Salah, and he's running away into the penalty area. He's got options to his left. He gets into the box. Does he square it? No, doesn't need to. He nets it instead, and he sends Liverpool 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Another breakaway goal, another mishap from the Villa defence. This time Diego Carlos was the villain, and Mo Salah was the hero, running into open territory. Two players joined him as options. He only needed one option. That was his left boot and the back of the Villa net. 2-0 Liverpool, 5 points clear at the top of the table going into the November international break, and Arne Slot is a very happy man.
Yeah, Torres is flat out in the Liverpool box, attempting to buy a penalty, I think. Certainly nothing given, but brilliant breakaway by that man Salah. He's put pressure on Diego Carlos. He didn't get his header correct, and once he goes in behind, he's waiting, he's got the pass across the face of the goal. He decided against that and finished brilliantly.
Mo Salah is the name you could hear ringing around Anfield. His name sang to the tune of James, Sit Down, but it's the Aston Villa centre-half Pau Torres who is sitting down away to our right, getting treatment inside the penalty area after collapsing after what he thought was a challenge for a penalty. I mean, you've seen it again. What did you think?
Not a penalty for me. I think he's gone down very cheaply trying to buy a penalty, and when he's seen Liverpool break away, he's decided to stay there in the hope that he'll get a decision.
Well, Mo Salah has made it 2-0. That's it now. No way back for Villa, I'm afraid. Not at this juncture of the match. And off comes Alexis McAllister, and on comes Wataru Endo, just to make sure of matters. He will shore up in front of the defence, a defence that is yet to concede, a defence that is starting to become resolute. Clean sheets are starting to emerge. And Liverpool, who after the international break take on Southampton, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Newcastle and Everton in quick succession, know that they've given themselves a good platform from which to tackle those games, Stuart Pearce.
They certainly have. As I say, there's been certain moments this season when the game's gone against them, Liverpool, but they've rode that. They've showed some great clinical finishing, and the energy within the ranks, especially at the front end of the team. Diaz and Salah tonight, Núñez with his goal, are always going to be a threat.
Well, Mo Salah has 10 goals and 10 assists and 17 appearances this season for Liverpool. That's the quickest any player has reached double figures for both goals and assists for Liverpool in the last 40 years. The previous fastest to that was 23 games with Luis Suarez. Here on the left is Philogene into McGinn. Duran trying to turn the ball infield, doesn't get there, and it's cleared away over on the right and up towards the halfway line where Diego Carlos is waiting. Again, poor header by him, and Salah actually rushed his ball forward. If it had have got any traction on it, then they were in trouble again. He's looked a little bit shaky, hasn't he, Diego Carlos?
Yeah, he's been okay up to now, I think, but the last probably 5 minutes or so, he's just lost his way slightly.
Is that affected because of the header that he made, which cost him the goal, do you think?
100%, yeah. And it come just at the time where you thought Villa were building up some pressure on Liverpool. All of that's been punctuated now by that Salah goal.
Liverpool got some big players to come back. Harvey Elliott fractured his foot in September. Chiesa hasn't really got going yet since not having a pre-season, and they want him to up the intensity levels. Alisson's been out since the beginning of October with a hamstring injury. Jota's missed the last 5 games. Well, they've got resources in the background, Liverpool, as they look to mount a title challenge, and with knowledge of the slip-ups that have happened to Arsenal recently and City, they've got a great chance. They've given themselves a great chance to establish a lead at the top of the Premier League. Martson with a cross from the left side. Deflection takes it behind. It's away for a corner.
Well, Liverpool are about to go into the break for the third international of this season in a fantastic position, both in league and cups.
Yes, and that's the point, isn't it? You know, the league leaders heading into the international break, the top of the Champions League as well. As the ball goes towards the back post, Kelleher comes out and claims it and clears it upfield. Ball collected by Gravenberg, who's running to McGinn. Referee's played on, it's gone into Szoboszlai, and now Diaz has got it on this left-hand side. They look forward, play it to Bradley. Bradley's got support from Gakpo on the outside, gives it to the Dutchman, and then comes into the Japanese Wataru Endo. Yeah, leaders of the Premier League and the 36-team Champions League table. They're the only team to have won their first 4 matches. If Carlsberg did start to managerial tenures, Stuart, it would probably look like this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been a brilliant first few months for Slot. I mean, he's come into solid foundations, there's no doubt about that, but this start was probably beyond his wildest dreams.
Well, he definitely walked into a club that had been set up brilliantly by the previous regime, and they have started to look more and more solid as the season has gone on, whereas Aston Villa's form is a little bit like a souffle that has been taken out of the oven too soon. 4 minutes of added time to play at the end of the 90. This will be the first time this season that in the Premier League at least, that Aston Villa have lost to someone outside of North London. But they've got into the losing habit, and it's going to be the first time under Unai Emery that they've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, I just have the feeling that there's a lot of teams in the Premier League that will be pleased with this break to reassess the direction that they're going, both going forward and the drop-off of form in certain places.
I think Lee Carsley's going to have a couple of pull-outs of his squad as well, which is a little bit of a worry, bearing in mind when we go to Athens this week, England need to beat Greece on Thursday night.
Yeah, that game in itself with a full squad will be a very, very tough affair.
Tielemans down the right, into the body of Philogene. Philogene holds it up, sends it back to Konza, who says he was fouled by Diaz. Diaz gives the free kick away, and it's going to be a chance for Liverpool to create from this right-hand side, leading by 2-0 in stoppage time at the end of the 90 here on Talk Sport. 15 wins from 17 competitive games for Arne Slot. What a start. Here is John McGinn trying to twirl the ball into the box. Pau Torres the target. Again, they're all up from the back. It's deep towards the far post. Kelleher's coming out. He's going to grab it, he does. And send it to Szoboszlai, who immediately wants to release Salah on the counter-attack, but Martson is back this time. Salah didn't take it cleanly, and the ball wasn't perfect for him. But again, how many times have Aston Villa given chances away from dead ball situations in a creative zone at the other end of the pitch? I mean, come on.
Yeah, as I say, the beauty of it is we're into the 90-odd minute here. The goalkeeper collects it. Most goalkeepers would lie on top of the ball, not him. Not when you've got Salah in your team, you don't.
Well, that is good. No time wasting, just cracking on and getting on with the match, and a match that Liverpool will be pleased with, I think. It's not been a swashbuckling end-to-end affair. They did have a little game of basketball breakout in the last sort of 10 minutes or so, and it was then that Liverpool took the advantage of a mistake by Diego Carlos and Salah with a terrific little finish past Emi Martinez as well. That's probably gone under the radar a bit, just how good the finish was. Just lifted it over him as he advanced, in at the near post as well, and it's a terrific goal for Liverpool, and it's the goal that clinches that advantage at the top of the table. And people will start talking about them now as potential title winners, especially after Pep's words tonight, Stuart.
Yeah, they definitely will. The start that they've had, they're getting stronger and stronger. I think Liverpool, the chances of giving the opposition moments in games seem to be getting smaller and smaller as the season goes on. Their supreme confidence. In the main, they've got a fully fit squad, and the manager has certainly taken to following Klopp, and that was no mean task, extremely well.
Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. It's a result that damages the chances of Aston Villa to go in the upper reaches of the league, that they will start to drop down the division as a result of this, and Tottenham could eclipse them tomorrow as well. And Brighton going into the top 4 tonight thanks to their victory that they secured earlier on today over Manchester City. Liverpool 28 points, City 23, Forest 19, they play tomorrow. But if this slot machine keeps playing out week after week, then Liverpool will be favourites to hit the jackpot. It's 12 wins from 13 games, it's 5 points clear at the top of the table, and no one has switched on the Christmas lights yet. Many saw Arna as a gamble, but it appears that it is a gamble that is paying off. Aston Villa on a losing streak, and that could prove very costly indeed. They started the weekend thinking about the top 4. They'll be lucky to be in the top 8 by the end of tomorrow night. Goals came from Nunez and Mo Salah. Of course they did. It's finished Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0.